The observer is the past, and therefore he cannot observe wholly.
Mm-hmm. If a person uses the first person pronoun, I, while he's taking the description for the described, this is the observer he refers to when he says I. Yes, yes, yes. Please do go on.
I is the past.
I see.
I is the whole structure of what has been. The remembrances, the memories, the hurts, the various demands, all that is put together in the word the I, who is the observer. And therefore division. The observer and the observed. The observer who thinks he's a Christian and observes a non-Christian or a communist, is this division, this attitude of mind which observes with a conditioned responses, with memories and so on. So that is the known.
I see.
I mean, I think that is logically so.
Oh no, it follows precisely from what you've said. Yes.
So, we are asking, can the mind or the whole structure, can the mind be free from the known? Otherwise, the repetitious action, repetitious attitudes, repetitious ideologies will go on, modified, changed, but it's in the same direction. So,
no, do go ahead. I was just going to say something, but I think I'll let it wait until you finish what you've said.
So, what is this freedom from the known? I think that's very important to understand, because any creative action, I'm using the word creative in its original sense, not in the sense creative writing, creative bakery, creative essay, creative pictures. I'm not talking in those sense. In the deeper sense of that word, creation means something totally new being born. And it's not creative, it's merely repetitive, modified, changed, what the past. So, unless there is a freedom from the known, there is no creative action at all. Which is, freedom implies not the negation of the known, but the understanding of the known, and that understanding brings about an intelligence which is the very essence of freedom.
Right. I'd like to make sure that I've understood your use of this word creative.
Yes, that's why.
Seems to me very, very important.
Yes.
People who use the word creative in the sense that you described, creative this, that, and the other.
That's a horror. That is a dreadful way of using that word.
Because what the issue is of their activity is something merely novel.
Novel. That's right.
Not radically new, but novel.
It's like creative writing, teaching creative writing. It's so absurd.
Exactly. Yes. Now I do, I think, grasp precisely the distinction that you've made. And I must say I fully agree with that.
Unless you feel new, you can't create anything new.
That's right. And the person who imagines that he is creative in this other sense that we pointed to is a person whose reference for his activity is this observer that we mentioned, that is tied to the past.
Yes, that's right.
So even if something does appear that is really extraordinarily novel, merely novel, but still extraordinarily novel, they're kidding themselves.
The novel is not the creative.
Exactly.
The novel is just the novel.
Right. And today, especially, it seems to me in our culture, we've become hysterical about this, because in order to be creative, one simply must rack his brains in order to produce something which in itself is bizarre enough to get attention.
That's all. Attention, success.
Yes. It has to be novel to the degree that I feel knocked on the head by it.
Yeah, eccentric and all the rest.
Exactly. But if that tension is increased, then with each succeeding generation, the person is put to tremendous stress, not to repeat the past, which he can't help repeating.
Repeating, quite. That's why I say
exactly.
Freedom is one thing, and knowledge is another. We must relate the two and see whether the mind can be free from knowledge. We won't go into it now. This is real meditation for me. You follow, sir?
Yes, I do.
Because when we talk about meditation, we'll go into it. But see whether the brain can record and be free not to record. Brain to record and operate when necessary in the recording, in memory, in knowledge, and be free to observe without the observer.
Oh, yes, yes, I see. That distinction seems to me absolutely necessary. Otherwise, it wouldn't be intelligible.
No.
No, yes.
So, knowledge means is necessary to act, in the sense my going home from here to the place I live. I must have knowledge. I must have knowledge to speak English. I must have knowledge to write a letter and so on. Everything. The knowledge as function is mechanical function is necessary. Now, if I use that knowledge in my relationship with you, another human being, I am bringing about a barrier, a division between you and me, who is the observer. If I'm making myself clear.
And I'm the observed in that case.
Yeah.
Right, in that context.
That is, knowledge in relationship, in human relationship, is destructive. That is, knowledge which is the tradition, the memory, the image which the mind has built about you when we are related together. That knowledge is separated and therefore creates conflict in that relationship. As we said earlier, where there is division, there must be conflict. Division between India and Pakistan, India and America, Russia and all that, this divisive activity, politically, religiously, economically, socially, in every way, must inevitably bring conflict and therefore violence. That's obvious.
Exactly.
Now, when in relationship, in human relationship, knowledge comes between, then in that relationship there must be conflict. Between a wife, husband and wife, boy and girl, wherever there is the operation of as the observer, who is the past, who is knowledge, in that activity there is division and therefore conflict in relationship.